and he made the move. I think he led this league a couple years in a row in receptions, and ended up having about a 5-year career in the NFL, and then went on with his life. He was an actor, he was in whatever, and then he ended up getting called to the ministry. He's an amazing story. He really is. But we're playing in the national championship. Just so you know, we have done that, recently. January of 19, what 35 years ago. January of 19, we were out in California, and and Chancey reached out. He was in the ministry, and I think he was 30. I think he was 36 or 37. He's 40, so he was about 36 or 37. And he wanted to come meet with me at the hotel. I hadn't seen him in a while, so he came over to the hotel the day before the game, and he just said his heart was calling him to coaching. He's never coached a day in his life, and he just wanted. And I said, well, it's going to be hard. I said, well, here's the deal. If you really want to coach, you need to figure out if you really want to do it. Everybody thinks they want to coach, but you need to figure it out. I said, here's the only opportunity I got. I got a video GA spot because he was too old to be a GA, And I said, but I got a video GA spot. You have to be in grad school. And I said, and what that'll do is that'll give you a year to figure out if you really want to do it and what it's all about, because you don't even know what you don't know. There's a lot more than just what you see on Saturday. And so he came in here and watched him early. I mean, he just Chancey. He was a captain here. He's a great player. But I told him, I said early on, I said, if you'll give me 2 years, if you'll really commit 2 years to just learning the processes and all the things that you need to equip yourself, I said, man, you're gonna go fast in this business. And so he was a video GA, and 2 years, all of a sudden I get a call from Dave Aranda out of the blue. And he just says, look, I'm looking for a wide-out guy. You got anybody? I said, you know what, I do. And called Chancey. I said, hey, man. And so we talked about the interview process. He was scared to death. And guys never run a room, never recruited, been in football for a year and a half, and he gets hired to go be the receiver coach at Baylor. And 1 year later, I'm getting a call from, Tommy Reese. And he's like, hey, can you talk to me about Chancey Stuckey? And I'm going, what's going on? And we talked about Stuckey, and next thing I know, he's at Notre Dame. So he's gone fast, and proud of him. He's already texted me this week, but really proud of him. He's, like I said, one of my favorites that I've had come through here. It was a blessing to coach him, and I'm really proud. It's fun to see. I got a ton of guys in coaching that I've coached as receivers. I got guys all over the place that are coaching college ball, coaching high school ball, that have been receivers for me in particular, but also former players now since I've been a head coach. And I'm proud of all those guys. Really proud of him and what he's done for them.
How has Hartman fit them? How have they fit him? How are they using him comparable to how he played at Wake Forest that kind of?
Well, they're different scheme. I mean, it's it's still a run-based offense as far as that goes, but it's not a slow mesh or anything like that. I mean, he's a little more clean in the pocket, I guess I would say. As far as whereas obviously at Wake Forest you've got a lot of RPOs, a lot of mesh, and I mean there's a lot of shrapnel flying around all the time, and I think that's one of the reasons he's just so. I mean, like, he don't flinch, like nothing bothers him, because I think that's just kind of his norm, with what they did at Wake Forest. I mean, he's a very poised guy. He's obviously really well coached at Wake Forest. I mean, I think they do a great job of coaching and teaching, and but probably just cleaner in the pocket is just true play action, and there's, as opposed to slow ride and stuff like that. A lot of boots. Really strong up front, and do a good job in taking shots down the field and giving him play action shots and things like that. Get him out of the pocket. He's a good football player. I mean, it's like watching a pro. It's like watching an NFL guy playing college football. I mean, the game is really slow to him. Good player.
Coach, I'm sure the last thing you're thinking about right now is playing Stanford next year, but the ACC schedule release came out yesterday, and they did you a little bit of a favor not having to fly out west for a couple of years.
Okay, yeah, well, that's great. I'll bring it. I mean, I'm not in the weeds on all that right now, but that's exciting. Too bad I wish my man David Shaw was still there. He's one of my great friends. Love and respect him. That would have been kind of fun. But yeah, man. Hey, I'm just trying to get to Saturday. We're about Stanford. Is next year?
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Here.
Dabo, I think 2 of y'all's touchdowns Saturday came after explosive plays. As much talk as there is, justified talk as there is about turnovers, all that, how much does it help when you get a big play to sort of confidence-wise?
It helps a lot because it helps you be efficient. It helps your run game. There's a lot of things that helps. I mean, we missed. Oh my gosh! I mean, we hit the big play to to Stellato. Couldn't have had a better call. I mean, what a great design by Garrett there, and we get a holding call. That's a 30-plus yard gain right there. That ball's going over to the other side, right out of the gate, and it's kind of been 2023 for us. And Bo's competing and fighting. I mean, he held him. He didn't have to. I mean, the guy's not going to make the play. So we get a hold, it gets negated, and then we had another one, 3rd and 5. They bring pressure, and we changed the presentation. Similar play, but we changed the presentation up, and we brought Bo, and it's basically a crack screen behind the line, and it's really hard. That one's going to go for about 40, and Cade he's just got to get it over the guy, and he just kind of wasn't as poised as he needed to be right there with some duress and just make a little throw. And so we missed some opportunities, it's missed plays, missed opportunities. We drop a 3rd and 5, that's probably going to go for 10, 15, 20 yards. So just a lot of missed opportunities. And but yeah, it's consistently what we need to do. We made some plays. I mean, we made some dudes are making some gritty plays. I mean, Cade was, what was he? Was he like 33 or 51 or something like that? I don't know. 65%. I mean, a lot of tight coverage, a lot of gritty plays. There were some good plays, but just some missed plays that definitely creates rhythm, creates efficiency, etc. So definitely part of it.
Coach, their safety Watts leads the nation in interceptions, 2 picks in each of the last 2 games. I guess Cade's going to have to know where number 0 is at all times.
Oh yeah, him and Two's a hitter. You better know where he's at. That guy is physical, and he's been there forever too. I don't even know whether he's a graduate. He's been there a long time. Good player. Both these corners, I think, are elite. Really elite players. Linebackers are big-time players. I mean, again, just a really experienced group. And they're not hard to find. This is a group that lines up and challenges you, and you've got to be able to accept the challenge and come down to a few plays. Can't help them. Last year we have 2 pick sixes. I think 1 pick 6, and the other one went to the 1 or whatever it was. So 2 pick sixes and a block punt for a score. We really never had a chance in the game. So this is a team that you can't do that, and we've got to. That's kind of been the story of our season with the turnovers, and so we've got to find a way to not help these guys. But at the same time, you just got to go play, got to go battle and compete, and see if we can find a way to win the game. We're good enough, that's for sure.
Coach, red zone approach against NC State. We saw Cade under center a little bit more, and Phil scored 2 one-yard TDs. Are you expecting to use Phil more on the goal line as the season goes along?
We've used him on the goal line all year. I mean, starting the Duke game, he fumbled on the 1. We've used him all year. But when you with Shipley out, yeah, I mean, we try to play those guys equal amount. We have respect for both those guys, and Shipley's relentless. But obviously he went out of the game, so but regardless, it's not something that we prefer one or the other. Both of them are. We got great respect for both of those guys.
Speaking of Shipley, what's his status right now?
Day to day.
Moving Tristan to right guard. Obviously, you feel good about Colin at left tackle. What have you seen from him there that makes you feel good about having him there kind of more permanently?
Well, I mean, we're just trying to get the best 5 on the field. I mean, we've played, I guess, 9 or 10 guys this year, you know, losing Parks, you lose a starter, so now you've elevated, and then we've had, you know, a little inconsistency at right guard that was kind of showed up a couple of times, and so we just felt like that our best 5 were the ones that started last week, you know, where we are today, and you know, we felt like Tristan was the guy to move in there, and he really, like I said, he was a bright spot in the game. He actually did a pretty good job, especially for a guy that, with all that they do, he held his own really well. He's long, he's a physical kid, and you know, he'll continue to play tackle as well, but just felt like, you know, that was the right move for us for a few reasons. But, you know, excited about Colin. I mean, he overset a couple times and got beat inside. He can be a little aggressive, which I'd rather have that as a attribute than the other way. But man, we think Colin Sadler and Blake Miller are 2 elite players. You know, Blake is a little further along because he obviously played a lot last year. Colin was hurt and sick and missed all that time. But he's got a bright future. He's made of the right stuff. He's a little bit like our quarterback. We're gonna have a few growing pains with him, but he's made of the right stuff. We're gonna win a lot of games with Colin Sadler, a lot of games with Blake Miller. Marcus Tate has been pretty steady for us, you know, all year. Putnam he's just a rock. I mean, you notice him when he makes a bad play because he don't make many. So, you know, he's just steady as they come. And then we've just been a little inconsistent at right guard. So trying to create some consistency there was the reason for the move. And, you know, we'll see. We'll have a big challenge this week, especially with 56 and 99 and do